Hey there, moms and dads, welcome back to the channel. Recently, I was asked, how do I win in ADHD parenting? So today, we're going to dive into the sometimes chaotic world of ADHD parenting and learn how to get some wins. Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of patience, a little bit of humor, and a lot of love. My name is Danielle Kelly and I'm a parenting coach. I help parents of children newly diagnosed with ADHD understand their kiddos a little bit better so they can find the patience they desperately need to get their lives back. First things first, let's be real. ADHD is not just about energy. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects attention, impulse control, and yes, hyperactivity. According to the CDC, 6.1 million children in America have ADHD, so that's around 9.4% of all children ages 2 to 17. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by the chaotic ride, you are definitely not alone. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you win the game of ADHD parenting? Well, probably start with some understanding, flexibility, and a whole lot of love, as I said in the beginning. We can win, and here are my top 5 tips. Tip number 1, embrace structure, but flex with grace. Let's be real, life happens. Children with ADHD, they need that structure, they need that home base, that predictable routine, but they are spontaneous. Their brains do not work in a linear fashion such as ours, so there are going to be some times when our plans go awry. And I have found that the best way to handle that is, if allowable, to let my child go with the flow. I'll go with him. Whatever's happening, maybe it's better than what I had planned. So have a daily schedule, but do not lose your cool if things go awry. Remember, we are striving for progress, not perfection. So you can have your color-coded charts. I myself love visual schedules, but also be willing to dance and have a little impromptu party if that's where the day leads. Tip number 2, positive reinforcements will be your best friend on this journey. And there will be some things to praise, right? If your child sits still for 5 minutes, high five. If you get your homework done without a meltdown, extra screen time. Yes, I believe in giving them what they want if they earn it. So if we can get some type of arrangement, we can succeed in our progress. Yes, I'm willing to give you a little bit more tablet time. Thank you for helping our day go along smoothly. And that is not just bribery, even though it looks a lot like that. ADHD has hijacked our children's executive functions, so anytime we can strengthen those, even if the reward on the other end is screen time or a cookie or whatever they're craving today, we're still building those life skills that will serve them well later. So, no tantrums equals screen time may seem like a simple formula, but it is actually strengthening your child's life skills, executive functions for later in life. That, my friend, is worth the cookie. Plus, ADHD children here know, stop that, cut it out, up to 9 times more a day than their neurotypical peers. So flip the script, build your children up. Instead of always redirecting with the negative, let's positively redirect, get them to know you can do this, I see you doing this, and I appreciate you. It is our job as their parental advocate to build them up, so let's do just that. Tip number 3 works best for everybody, not just our neurodevelopmental disordered friends, but this is to break things down into smaller, more manageable chunks. If you say, sit down and do your homework, and that includes 20 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of math, and 10 minutes of spelling, that is 40 minutes, and that sounds like pure torture to a child with ADHD. So I'm like, can you give me 10 minutes on your math, and then I'll let you run free for 10 minutes? Yes, again, this seems like bribery or rewards for doing what needs to be done. But it's also working on those transition skills, project and task initiation. It is also helping them with chunking things down into time management. All of those things are hijacked by ADHD, and all of those things they will need later in life. So yes, we might be negotiating now. My son is the master haggler. That will serve him well in life, and I am happy to sharpen his skills as long as we both win. Breaking it down not only makes the task more manageable, but it also gives them a sense of accomplishment when they are checking off the things on your list. Now, I would advise you to keep the list short and definitely put the things that you want done first at the top. But as they are checking those off and they feel so great and independent, that is also building up their self-coping skills and building that sense of confidence that most children with ADHD lack. I have coaching clients come to me all the time saying, my child craves independence. I don't know how to give it to him. This is the perfect way to start them. Step number 4, use technology wisely. I recently seen a very funny commercial about moms giving tips on how to parent better. And one mom was like, put your children's tablet games or tablet shows in Spanish and let them learn another language. And I giggled, but really, anytime that we can turn that tablet time into learning time, especially for our kiddos who crave that little dopamine rush, yeah, girl, that's a win. There are many apps for ADHD kids. There are apps that can build those life skills that we were talking about. But more than likely, your child struggles in an academic area, usually reading or math. So there's games that will allow them to sharpen those skills as well. Now, I'm not saying this is as fun as watching kids YouTube. So maybe you say, you give me 10 minutes on the learning apps and I'll give you 10 minutes of free time. But that's not the only way we can use technology in our favor in this ADHD parenting win. We can also use the visual timers, the reminders, everything that we use for us, we can also use for them, such as earlier I spoke about task initiation and transitioning, which is typically where the meltdowns come, right? Children do not like going from what they want to do to what you want them to do. So I asked my son, how can I help you transition and do that better without the meltdowns? And he was like, let's set a 5-minute countdown on my iPad and then I'll know that I have that. Now, true enough, he's a tiny genius, but also ADHD hijacks our time management, executive function. So telling him he has 5 minutes, he does not know what that means, but he can see the counting down. So that still helps us transition a little bit better, not so many meltdowns and tantrums. So use technology to your advantage. I definitely recommend, if you're going to give them that time anyway, use it as a treat and get your win on the front side of their win on the back side. Last up is self-care for mom and dad. I know, you're probably rolling your eyes. Before I learned the concept and the importance of taking care of myself, I did the same. I had so many coaches and mentors along the way tell me, you have to take care of yourself first. And I was like, I'm already doing that. But I actually wasn't. And I'll give you an example, super personal from my own life. I was triggered all the time. I was raised in a very unconscious environment, no offense, mom and dad, where I thought that this tiny human had to do everything I say or they were disrespecting me. Newsflash, the universe sent me a child with ADHD to break down that paradigm and to completely change who I was. But before that happened, I was totally triggered all the time because this tiny kid was not doing what I asked, right? Well, in the process of learning ADHD and working on my patients, I also started taking some time to really take care of myself. And I know that literally every wellness guru on the planet says, eat right, sleep well, drink water, yada yada. It took me about 36 years to get into the habit of doing those things, But taking care of myself in such great ways has allowed me to mom to the max. My son can tell. So if you think that your child cannot tell that you're worn down and triggered all the time, they can definitely tell whenever you start taking care of yourself. Now he calls me the calm but serious mom. I'm not so triggered, and I can be present with my kid, know what's going on, know that I can relax and not feel guilty about it. That's another thing that I had a psychologist reframe for me. I don't know why, but all my mom friends believe that taking time for themselves is actually taking time away from their kids, which is totally not true. And she said, instead of thinking that you're taking time away from your kids for yourself, could you reframe it as, you're taking time to become a better mom. I'm doing this so that I can become a better parent. Trust me on this. Follow my journey and you will see how far I have come, and know that it is possible for you. And it literally starts with sneaking chocolate in the bathroom, screaming in a pillow, or locking the door and taking a bubble bath. Remember, you are a whole person, not just a parent. You have to take care of your needs, dreams, wants, and wishes, or else these tiny humans will see what it looks like to be unfulfilled. We cannot have that. Last up is not a tip on the list, but it is really vital. As I was writing these tips down today, I really feel like number one on the list should be celebrate the wins, because there will be so many wins. I know firsthand ADHD parenting is challenging. I will not take that away from you, but there is so many things that our children will get right. I promise you, your journey will get a lot better when you start focusing on all of the things that are going right instead of the few things that are off track. Praise them. Keep a success jar for whenever you and your child are feeling defeated of all the things that you've gotten right. Children with ADHD often struggle with self-esteem and self-confidence issues. If you have that in yourself or in your child or as a family, keep a success jar. And on those days when everybody feels defeated, get those things out, read all those great memories, and know you have come so far. Yes, we all still have a ways to go, but we are so much further than where we were. You have learned so much and you are going to do fantastic. So there you have it, my parent warriors. We have 5 tips and a bonus to get you the wins that you so desperately crave in ADHD parenting. They are out there. Keep your eyes open for them. I promise it will get easier as you go. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any questions or other topics that you would like videos on, definitely drop those in the comments. I'm always searching for content ideas and I'm here to help. Again, I am a parent coach, but I'm also on this journey with you for about 9 years now. I have taken positive parent training, mindful parent training, conscious parent coaching, behavioral parent therapy, girl, all the things. But really what that has allowed me to do is to become a phenomenal parent coach. And on this channel, I share all of that with you. So like, subscribe, hang around, share it with an ADHD parent that is struggling, because we've all been there. And good luck on the journey, guys.